These three hormone myths are still perpetuated by doctors, and they are hurting millions of women every year. I once had a 57-year-old woman having a mastectomy here in surgery who couldn't stop crying before she fell asleep. She was blaming herself for the cancer because she was on hormone replacement therapy, and her doctor told her that her hormone replacement caused her cancer. This woman woke up in so much pain after surgery, and I believe it was from the intense emotions and guilt she felt before falling asleep, which affected her central nervous system. Her acute post-surgical pain transformed into chronic pain, which still affects her to this day. Now, no one can know for certain, but I suspect that this terrible myth perpetuated by her doctor dysregulated her nervous system and contributed to her long-term harm. And that's in addition to the millions of women every year who are deprived of hormone replacement therapy because of these myths. That woman actually inspired me to practice women's health and to dispel these dangerous misconceptions that hurt so many women. Here are the top 3 myths that need to go to the grave so more women don't get hurt. Hormone replacement is nuanced, but I'm sure you'd agree that women deserve nuance in their healthcare. So we're going to discuss the myths around hormones causing breast cancer, that natural hormone declines don't need to be treated because they're naturally occurring, and then put down the myth about hormone replacement causing heart attacks and strokes. As a heads up, I won't talk about testosterone in this video because I've talked about it in other videos linked in the description below. It's super important for you to watch as well. The Women's Health Initiative over 20 years ago perpetuated the misconception that all hormone replacement causes breast cancer. This is simply false. That study actually showed the opposite in the group of women who received estrogen-only replacement. They actually had lower rates of breast cancer. And we have multiple studies since then that show that safer reality. For example, years later, a meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials studying over 14,000 women again showed that estrogen-only hormone replacement therapy reduces the risk of breast cancer. That study suggests that having estrogen replacement might be safer than not having estrogen replacement with respect to breast cancer risk. But it's recommended that all women on estrogen replacement therapy balance that with progesterone. You need that to protect the uterus and support bone and neurological health. So nearly all of my patients take both estrogen and progesterone. So what about the risks of adding the progesterone to the estrogen? This is where that myth gets more traction. It's because breast cancer risk appears increased with the use of synthetic progesterone substances called progestins. This doesn't appear to be the case with bioidentical progesterone, meaning the chemically identical hormone that's produced by women's ovaries and in their nervous system, which is different than the synthetic forms of progesterone like what we see in birth control. For example, the E3N EPIC cohort from France showed that synthetic progestins may increase the risk of breast cancer, whereas natural bioidentical progesterone may actually decrease that risk. And this finding has been redemonstrated by the same group afterwards as well. Then there's the famous Finnish study, suggesting reduced breast cancer mortality in women on hormone replacement therapy compared to those who were not on hormones. And then there's a systematic review looking at over 86,000 women, showing that bioidentical hormones were associated with a lower risk of breast cancer compared to synthetic hormones like progestins. Once again, synthetic progestins are not the same as the progesterone produced by your body. My patients are bewildered when I tell them that birth control is a synthetic hormone. It's not produced by your body, and it shares chemical similarities to those synthetic progestins that are associated with the higher risk of breast cancer in postmenopausal women. I'm not saying all synthetic hormones are bad, but it's why I advocate for bioidentical hormone replacement therapy in my patients struggling with PMS, PMDD, perimenopause, or menopausal symptoms. Now, an important caveat is that many of these studies are observational and not randomized controlled trials. So while there's still lots of controversy in what an ideal protocol for hormone replacement therapy would be in randomized controlled trials, it's important to not lose sight of the risks of not treating women with menopausal symptoms. What are those risks? Lost bone density, worse sleep, brain fog, and quality of life. Have you heard that hormone replacement therapy causes breast cancer? Let me know in the comments below and share what you're learning with loved ones. Remember to visit my San Francisco clinic's website at www.claris-health.com to learn more about your hormone health and mental health so you can better advocate for yourself. And don't forget to hit that like button. So many women tell me that if their hormones are naturally declining with age, why is it necessary to replace them? Maybe it's even harmful to counteract what nature is naturally doing. Well, lots of things change with age, like lost muscle mass, bone density, visual acuity, and so much more. Natural doesn't mean optimal or even benign. You would rightly be so upset if your doctor just ignored your osteoporosis, for example, or your diabetes, or your high blood pressure, even if they occurred naturally without any identifiable cause. We treat all these because ignoring them causes pain and shortens our life. So then what about hot flashes? Did you know they can directly damage your heart? During a hot flash, your fight or flight response, your sympathetic nervous system, gets activated even when you're not in danger, and it puts your body under significant uncontrollable stress. You don't need a doctor to tell you chronic stress is bad for your blood pressure, blood sugar, and heart health, but this science confirms it. Hot flashes increase sympathetic tone and can contribute to high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and other risk factors for heart disease. In fact, the worse the hot flashes, the greater the risk of heart disease later in life. Every little hot flash is like a micro injury to your heart and your blood vessels, which can result in higher blood pressure over time. And the stress of the hot flashes on the heart directly can reduce heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is also called HRV. HRV is a direct indicator of the fight-flight response happening in your heart, like what you see on my heart right now on the life support monitors. And the more severe the hot flashes, the more depressed the HRV, and the higher the risk of heart disease. And it's not just hot flashes either. Menopause also aligns with the start of metabolic syndrome in many women, including insulin resistance and weight gain. Additionally, inflammatory markers increase when ovarian function decreases, like in menopause. And those can also contribute to heart disease. So putting it all together, we don't withhold insulin even if insulin resistance is natural with age, nor do we ignore thyroid failure if it's age-related. And similarly, we should treat hormone deficiencies because these are important signaling molecules, not cosmetic drugs. Timing matters more than you think for hormone replacement, and it shows with heart attack and stroke risk. Now, this myth does actually have some teeth, but despite that nuance, low estradiol levels have been linked to adverse heart disease outcomes, and hormone replacement therapy can reduce heart disease-related mortality in some groups of women. There's a famous study from Denmark where a randomized controlled trial showed death from heart attacks was 50% lower in women taking hormones versus those not taking hormones. But remember I said this myth has some teeth to it? Here's why. When women start hormones later in life, the risk of cardiovascular disease appears to increase. But when women under age 60 or within 10 years of menopause start hormone replacement therapy, many of the risks actually decrease. At least that's what we see in the emerging data. We call this the timing hypothesis. My hypothesis is that if we ignore menopausal symptoms for too long, and those micro-injuries to the cardiovascular system accumulate with hot flashes, adding hormone replacement therapy at that point might be counterproductive. Whereas if you treat women before those hot flashes accumulate, you can actually reduce their risk of cardiovascular disease. Those hot flashes aren't nuisances, and that accumulative damage shows. So the sooner you start hormone replacement therapy, the less of a toll it takes. And when you start the hormones too late, it's believed to destabilize plaques in your blood vessels that may dislodge and cause strokes. So why is withholding hormone replacement therapy so dangerous? Because millions of women are being denied estradiol replacement therapy in this critical window when it might help their heart health. But even if HRT didn't prevent heart attacks, which it might, or didn't reduce bone fractures and premature mortality from them, which it definitely can, what if HRT just improved quality of life by reducing hot flashes, or improving sleep or irritability or reducing mood swings? Don't those symptoms count in women? They should matter, especially if the benefits outweigh the risks. And there certainly are real risks with hormone replacement, as you can see, which is why many studies suggest caution in using them. However, when guided by a hormone specialist, these risks are often low and are likely lower than the risks of not treating women. I have so many resources to help you advocate with your doctor at my San Francisco clinic's website, www.claris-health.com. Be sure to share what you've learned with your loved ones, hit that like button, and subscribe to keep up with all of my videos. I also recommend you watch this video on testosterone in women so you can appreciate more of the nuance around women's health and replacing their hormones for optimal longevity and quality of life. Remember, you have more power over your health than you've probably ever been told.